this video is going to reach a very small audience, but I hope it's an audience that cares for it and appreciates it to some extent. I am voluntarily censoring the video. The video is going to contain coarse language. It's going to be the kind of video that YouTube would not want to put advertising on, and it's going to be 18 plus. Why? Because I'm talking about the most obvious element of Vegan Gains' current repertoire that we all have to endure as vegans. And, you know, this isn't something people ask me about. It's something people bluntly say to me all the time. Earlier today, I was talking to a room of vegans, 30, 40, 50, I didn't ask people, older, mature vegans. And someone just said flatly, I hate being in the same category as Vegan Gains. So I've talked about that under other headings. We're like, you know, you guys heard me say, we have this guy, Durian Rider, who's dragging the name of veganism through the mud. We have this, we have that. But I mean, it's just, you know, it wasn't the main topic of conversation. But it came up sincerely. The guy said, at one point, he said, look, couldn't we come up with a better definition or name? Can't we come up with something so that people do not perceive me as being in the same category as Vegan Gains? Now, I don't know. Other things, I mean, look, we're partly talking about a real world phenomenon, a political phenomenon, a movement. We are partly talking about an internet phenomenon, right? I don't know if the comic book YouTubers wake up that way. They're like, I just can't stand making content in the same category as those Spider-Man people. Can't the X-Men people in the Spider-Man? I don't know if it runs that deep. I don't know if it runs that deep for the video game people that the Nintendo and the Sony fans wish they had separate platforms. I doubt it. Why? Where does this come from? You know, I had a bunch of people react very positively to a simple and blunt statement I made on Twitter. To paraphrase, I said the other day, the current content from Vegan Gains has zero educational value and zero entertainment value. If I wanted to hear someone sit there and call somebody a dumb bitch and a dumb cunt, if that was the level of analysis I was interested in, I would watch CNN. So I'm partly joking, but look, I'm not somebody who's opposed to the use of coarse language in and of itself. I think one of the advantages we have over CNN is that we can come on here on YouTube and be really sincere and really spontaneous and in a really unscripted way share our feelings. And if you've watched this channel for long enough, you've seen me break down weeping 4 or 5 times. I don't know. Somebody in my YouTube audience is keeping track of how many times I've broken down weeping on camera. That's a beautiful thing. That's a positive part of the content we have. If I were having a roundtable discussion with 5 people, and I spontaneously said in the middle of it, maybe in the middle of a sincere reflection or something else, oh my God, this idiot. If I just said this with real hatred in that spontaneous way, I think that's completely legitimate YouTube content when that's not all you're saying. But with Vegan Gains, what we have is this completely phony theater of the absurd of him sitting down at his desk and making these passionless, scripted public service announcements, sitting there and staring into the camera with his fucking action figures in the background, like, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you might have watched this YouTube video, and it might not have occurred to you that this woman is a dumb bitch. So, I'm here to give you this really useful analysis I came up with. Let's just watch this video and let me break it down for you. Yes, at this point in the video, I'm gonna say dumb bitch. Like, what? Who needs to hear this? Like, the same function would be better served if you're gonna do this kind of dry, sitting in front of the camera. You could play the clip and you could sit there silent with your arms folded. You could sit there like, if there's one thing the audience knows or can figure out for themselves, it's that level of analysis, like calling someone a dumb bitch. Now, the other side of it, I've talked about this over the years, maybe once a year this comes up, the role of sincerity in YouTube video recording. My best girl, Melissa's in the room here with me. Melissa will remember a couple months ago, we came in from the gym, and I was exhausted, and I didn't really feel like doing a YouTube video. And this, again, linked to Vegan Gains. I was like, oh, I should do a video talking about palm oil and ecology and I just have nothing to say. I said, here, babe, like, sit down for 2 minutes. This is nothing. I have nothing to say. And I just seemed kind of down and demoralized and disengaged. And Melissa was really shocked. I then watched into this really passionate, somewhat vulgar, this performance that you didn't see coming. I mean, you really marked me up like, wow, like, I did not see that coming. You just said, like, you really had nothing to say. You felt like, there was no point sharing this with the audience. And then you come on, that's real. That's real. I'm really passionate about ecology. I'm really passionate about deforestation. And in that video, it may seem like an overly technical thing. I'm drawing people's attention to the hypocrisy of treating palm oil plantations as completely different from date plantations. A date grows on a date palm. Palm oil, what is the fucking difference? And, I really do swear a bit and stare into the camera. You guys may think that's camp. Fine. I'm not here to convince anyone. But, like, the reason I'm doing that is because it's really real. And the other thing is, look, we're not all equal. This is broadcasting. And we're all broadcasting from a different platform with a different basis and different options. I wish I had a round table of 5 people to do vegan videos with. I wish I could move on from sitting here ranting alone to the camera. This is an anthropology concept. This is really like weapons of the week. Who comes on YouTube to talk about politics and philosophy this way? People who don't have a better alternative. And that's the other thing it's true of Vegan Gains. It's true if you're looking at someone like Jake Paul. Like Jake Paul and these other YouTubers. It's like, look, I look at these crappy mainstream YouTubers like Jake Paul. So look, when you first started, if this was the only content you could do, is filming yourself doing a spontaneous dumb prank and screaming into the camera and these kinds of antics, fine. But now you have an audience of millions. You have a lot of income coming in. You've got to progress. You've got to step it up. I think likewise, if you see someone, I see a lot of people on YouTube who are still in high school. You see people who are in YouTube who are in college. Or even if you're older in middle age, where you have a full-time job, you have no time, you have no resources, you have no audience, and all you can do is come on camera and share your frustration, and maybe you've got nothing else to share but to shout, you dumb bitch. Maybe that's all you've got to give. That's pathetic, but okay, I relate to it. With Vegan Gains, it's more unforgivable because this guy's at this point highly successful, earning a significant living from this, and he is not putting in the effort to progress beyond a level that would be shameful even for like The Amazing Atheist or Jacqueline Glenn or these other crap. You do not put that much effort, into YouTube. Okay, guys, I want to say one thing. I said this once to Isaac in a private conversation. I once said to Isaac, nobody is more aware than I am that my channel would have continued to grow and get bigger and bigger if I had stayed angry all the time. I knew the difference. I've done some videos about Freely. If you don't know who Freely is, don't Google it. You don't want to know. There once was an influential person in veganism go Freely. I did some videos about Freely that were really analytical and down to earth. There's one called The Wonder That Was Freely. And I remember that's really just discussing in an analytical way. Why did people become members of this cult? What did they believe in? What was the significance of the anti-medical establishment hysteria? All the stuff about medical doctors, really getting into this in a more analytical way. And I did videos where I sat there and said, you lying hypocrite with your fake tits, you know talent bum, where that rage is in there, right? But that's sincere. And it's finite. I don't have another 10 videos to make that are angry that way. And one genre of video, from my perspective, is to some extent vindicated by the others. It's like, look, I really have something to say. I have feelings to share. I don't just have feelings to share. And I was never tempted. I never even considered the option of making rage into a trope or a meme or an act. No. I mean, there was a time when I was alone at university, trying to make the world a better place, hoping to be involved in vegan activism. And not only is there no legitimate vegan activism for me to join in or get involved in, I look on the internet, I come here on YouTube, and what is it that passes for vegan activism? It's this like orthorexic / anorexic weight loss cult and hold these lies, and this woman with fake tits who's telling you she's opposed to using soap. She's opposed to using shampoo. She's opposed to eating a non-organic mango. She's so committed to the cult of nature, and yet there she is with her fake tits from she's against all kinds of legitimate medical procedures and surgeries, and yet you have fake tits. It's not just fake tits, guys. There was something here worth ranting about. And yeah, there were a couple of videos where, not for no reason, I never made a video where I'm just insulting this woman, where I'm just calling her an idiot or calling her a dumb bitch. It's like, there really was a reason. There was a reason for the passion, and it reflected my powerlessness at that time also, right? Again, sorry, it's like a meme in anthropology, weapons of the weak, where you look at the frustration and powerlessness of these people. But at this point, Vegan Gains he's in a real position of power. If anything, he's the new Freely. He's in the position Freely was in. And yeah, you know what? It's exactly parallel. I didn't even think of that. The guy who said to me today that he feels ashamed to use the word vegan and he wishes he wasn't in the same category of veganism, that's like coming full circle to about 4 years ago, where people said that about Freely and people said that about Durian Rider because they were dragging the name of veganism through the mud. There is no happy ending to this video, people. Talent is scarce. And, if you want to see somebody do better, take a look in the mirror. Because the future of veganism is you and you and you. And if you want better YouTube content than I've been able to produce in my 5 years of playing this game, the alternative, it's not Richard. It's not complaining about Richard. The alternative is you and you and you. Get on camera. Get on Skype with me. I don't give a fuck. Send me an email. Let's make something positive happen. But if you haven't tried and if you haven't failed, don't tell me you want better if you ain't going to do better. That's what's up.